Hey everybody, Lori Broccoloni here, giving you information, happynaturalhorse.com, educating you on common sense, taking care of horses and their health. So this article came up. A lot of people get scratches and rain rot, and they think it's from, it's a bacterial infection or whatever. Bacterium that penetrates the skin's keratinised. I can't say these big words. I'm sorry. It's like a fungal infection and present. The condition may be contagious. It may spread between horses. It may not. Talks about lesions distributed through the neck and the head, the skin, the sores, blah blah. So, anyways, so how can you help improve the overall integrity, strength, and condition of the skin's layer? Again, I can't say those big words. I just can't. I wasn't born that way. But it says to give flaxseed for fatty acid, okay? So, the warning here about flaxseed is, these people drive me crazy. If you feed too much flaxseed, it has this cayenne in it. It's a chemical compound that's very toxic if you consume large amounts. Basically, it will tax the thyroid, and the thyroid is your pituitary gland, and it can lead to iodine deficiency. So the pituitary gland has to do with the digestion, okay? And it could cause goiter, all right? So, in very small doses. So a lot of people are feeding flaxseed, and there's a lot of flaxseed in, see here, this is the natural, it's funny, Triple Crown's coming natural because, you know, everybody else is going natural with their horse because they want to keep their horses healthy. And this is the ingredients, and they have flaxseed, and then they have flaxseed oil, okay? And so I go back over here, and this lady, she has locking stifles in the minis, but she gives the Big Sky minerals. But she also feeds the Triple Crown Naturals. And having all this stuff in here, it interferes with the absorption of the Big Sky minerals. And basically what the Big Sky minerals is doing is it's trying to take all this bad stuff out. And alfalfa is high in protein. So the protein here is 14%. And you got 170% of the omega-6, which is a little kind of high. So the calcium, phosphorus is fine. But the other thing you have to remember too, you guys, is see these pellets? You don't know how they got there. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it has some good stuff in there, but you don't know where they're getting it from. You know what I mean? You don't know where the source is. Hydrolyzed yeast could have a side effect. Ground limestone, they think it's calcium. It's not. It might be, but it's not getting in the horse. This is getting in the horse, and that's getting in the horse. But the oil, the flaxseed oil, is also, the horse doesn't have a gallbladder, so he has to push it through. So how are they making this? Are they heating it up over 80%? Are they heating it over 100% to make the pellets? If they're heating it, you're not getting any of this because it's going to kill the enzymes. That's why the Stanley Hay pellets are so good, because they only heat up to 35%. Okay? So, you could have, like, feeding too much flaxseed, loose stool. I've had people call me, it delays clotting of blood. It can lead to intestinal blockages. Now, most of my clients that don't want to listen to me, that are on flaxseed, they do have colics, okay, even though they're on the Big Sky. They might not be on the high track or the apple cider vinegar, but they've had bouts of colic quite a bit over the years. So, it might create inflammation, okay, and the increase of macular degeneration. So here she is, here she's been giving the flaxseed, the ground flax, and the flax in here. So this horse is getting an overdose, and she's got locking stifles and minis, and they're out on pasture all day long. She should not be having this issue. Okay, so that's my segue on flaxseed. So what would you do instead? What would you do instead? Take this out. Is you don't really need that. You want to give anything? Give chia seeds. Brewer's yeast, okay? Andy, if you listen to the radio call, the brewer's yeast, yes, it's great stuff, but it's hard for the horse to break it down. You have to have a certain amount of brewer's yeast, probably a trace amount, and which is in the Big Sky, but it's a different kind of brewer's yeast. It's a more absorbable one for the horse. Seaweed, that's in the Big Sky. This is in the Big Sky. Garlic, this is good too, but it's a sulfur compound, okay? And Andy says that scratches, okay, and rain rot, okay, and rain rot is a copper sulfate deficiency, okay? So my natural equine remedies book went away. I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. There it is. Rain rot. Okay, it's considered an allergy, but they say usually after heavy rain that the rain rot appears. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's a copper deficiency. Okay, copper sulfate deficiency. Okay, you can use lavender oil, essential oils from doTERRA, and tea tree oil to clean it up. But the main way to get rid of it is to feed the Big Sky minerals. Okay, so what else do they? Seaweed, that's in the Big Sky minerals, which is the kelp. Okay, echinacea is good. That's going to bring out the immune system. Okay, antibiotic. You can use an oil tincture. Tea tree oil I find is best. Okay, and they talk about it. Mirth is good. Echinacea, feeding it internally is great, and that was from Herbs of the World. That's the only place I get my echinacea herbs. They are fantastic, and they are really, really, really boost the immune system, and you only give it for like 2 weeks. Candela is good. Aloe vera is good. Brewer's yeast is good, but you want to make sure it's the right kind. I would not feed corn oil, coconut oil, flaxseed oil at all. And again, they talk about the anti-inflammatory herbs. Turmeric is good. Mirth is antifungal. That's not inside. It's not internal. That is in on the outside. You want to put the mirth oil from doTERRA. So, okay, so and so I wanted to show you the let's see, the brewer's yeast is in here. See, the sulfate, the horse can get the sulfate in. So, but there's no flaxseed. There is wheat middlings. There's only like 20 pounds per ton, which is nothing. And there's your copper sulfate. Okay, there's your domalite lime. That is really, really, that's where we're getting all the benefits of the vitamins, of the minerals that are naturally mined. And so there's your psyllium yeast. You see it's way down at the bottom. He doesn't have it up there up top, you know. There's your yeast up here. Okay, and this is what, and it's a yeast culture. You don't even know what it is, okay? Hydrolyzed yeast, you don't know what that is. Okay, and there's no, I mean, where's the sulfate? A horse can only absorb sulfate. They can't, the rate 8, they can't really absorb that. Okay, they need us. There's your zinc sulfate. There's your copper sulfate at the very bottom. And this is just salt. And then brewer's dry yeast. So this horse is getting like 3 types of yeast. Plus, you don't know how much wheat middlings are in there. Okay? And ground oats. Horses do better with whole oats. Okay? But let me tell you a story. My daughter brought a thoroughbred from the track, and he had scratches. Okay? And he and rain rot. Okay, he was on the Big Sky 2 weeks. I don't have a picture of him for you to show. I wish I did. I didn't set that up, but I had a lot to set up. But I think I did a video. I'll do a video on him. But I think I did a video. But his name was, what's his name? Oh, he was an awesome horse. But anyways, a really nice thoroughbred. And she won 5 races on him. But anyway, so his scratches, I think I put tea tree oil on it one time. We had heavy rains when she dumped him off. It was going into winter. And within 2 weeks of being on the Big Sky, he didn't have scratches anymore at all. So, and his rain rot went away. And then the other story I have is the copper sulfate. Now also, if you have the right copper sulfate, you won't get ticks either, because ticks don't like copper. Okay, so if you are in an area in your, in the region of the United States, and just go to the geographical grid of where you're at to see what kind of minerals that you're lacking in your soil. It tells you on the grid. I won't go there now, but you can look it up. It's in my book, How to Identify and Release Your Horse's Pain Points. So, Dominic, one summer, I had put down a lot of the Medina, and they weren't coming up for their Big Sky. So, in the fall came, they might have got Big Sky like 3 times a week, at most. And they were just getting, you know, the grass, because I had so much grass. So that fall, he came down with just a little bit of rain rot. And so I called Andy, and I was like, well, you shouldn't be, well, because you didn't feed him every day. So the following summer, I made sure that they, even though they didn't get the hay pellets, I just put out the Big Sky, like a quarter cup of each. And he's never had rain rot again. So, and then my filly, she has been the less amount of all of them on my herd that has been on Big Sky the less, because she's my newest horse. And for 2 to 3 years, she had ticks every year. And so I really upped her Big Sky when I found out about the copper sulfate and the ticks. And she hasn't had any ticks since. Okay? So there is a lot to be said about this. You just have to go on to, and this diatomaceous earth is great, and it works synergistically with this, and most people, it will dump the worms out right away. So I don't think there's any more yeast. There's more sulfur. So that's why zinc sulfur, and there's a little bit of oxide. They have a hard time throwing off oxide, but there's just a trace amount. And see, that zinc oxide, it could be coming from the domalite lime, because the domalite lime has like 72 minerals in it. Okay, so that's it for now. Share this video. I hope this helps, and have a great day. Bye. And subscribe to my channel.